columns are done in front of the house where people walk in and out, and it marks the meeting point of the inside and the outside. Two different spaces, two different things, they're opposites, and it is the meeting point of those opposites. I spend a lot of time thinking about my ancestors and the future, and I always think of myself at the threshold. So the past and the future, and here I am. I find that very fascinating. I grew up in scientific research community in India. I was very good at subjects that had images. And it was very hard for me with physics, which did not have as many images. Anytime I have an opportunity to use my hands to create something, I can understand an abstract concept better. And columns have been a huge part of that. It's very fascinating to break something into a tinier portion in terms of space or time. Everything in the universe, it's all made of atoms, and these atoms connect together to form molecules. A lot of my work is very symbolic. It just could be a line, but that line reminds me of time. The dots represent challenges in life. One can weave around all of these dots and get back to the starting point. It is a way to be able to problem solve in life and to be able to deal with life's ups and downs.
I started learning columns from a very young age, mostly from my mom. It's something that is typically passed down by mothers to daughters generationally. It was like a very casual learning. I just grew up seeing them so often around me that they became a very intrinsic part of my artistic vocabulary, and so I found those shapes very repetitive and soothing, and I would doodle them a lot growing up. Having this connection and being able to participate in this tradition is something that's really meaningful for me. I grew up in the United States, and so my connection to my Indian heritage has really been based on what, for me, and what has been in my environment. My mom, my grandmother, and I had all turned to columns, especially during the pandemic, as a way to ground ourselves. I organized a 3-generation column show recently called Talay Marigal. It had artwork from myself, my mom, and my grandmother. The experience was really therapeutic for me because it felt like I was able to create that connection through this vehicle of Kolam. Each generation had different interpretations of a common pattern or theme, made it feel like we were coming together.
The actual origins of Kolam are not very clear, because this is a living tradition that people still do. It has been going on for hundreds of years, maybe even thousands. The word kolam means appearance. Your kolam depends on how you make your dots. Your life depends on how you build your foundations. Columns are embedded with a lot of philosophy and symbolize a lot of deep life lessons and meanings. One of them is about impermanence. There's going to be a cycle of creation and dissolution. Things will come and go. You make something and it's gone, and it's a cycle, and we are part of the cycle.
What's interesting to me is that with golems, the permanence doesn't come from the art form, it comes from the art maker. It comes from the person who creates it. The art form doesn't last, but the process of making it lasts. My energy going into it doesn't necessitate that it has to exist forever. I find golems as a vehicle for me to understand myself better, and I think it helps me understand my culture and my heritage better as well.
When we draw a kolam in front of the house, we do the best we can that day, that time. And we make that and we let go of it, even though we might have spent hours and days preparing for this elaborate drawing. But once it's done, people walk over it and it's gone. Life is like that. We make the best we can with the time and space we have. And kolam constantly reminds me of that.